Well, as if Star Wars The Acolyte wasn't bad enough for the Walt Disney Company in terms of fan reaction on YouTube with the massive amount of downvoting, they've still got Mufasa, the Lion King prequel, coming out in Christmas of 2024 this year, which may be Disney's last best hope in the theater for this season, but it's doing actually worse than The Acolyte is, at least insofar as the trailer reaction on YouTube. And it really begs the question, is the Disney brand so damaged at this point that they can't put anything out that people are going to be interested in seeing, at least not in numbers that they need to justify the budgets of these films?
Renegade Online.
Here's another problem. It's the same thing. You know, here we go. 130,000 upvotes for Mufasa, The Lion King. This came out 6 days ago. This came out Monday last week, day after our last live show. 333,000 downvotes. Again, there's just nobody wants what Disney is selling anywhere right now at all.
Correct. Yes. Yes.
I mean, it's across the board. People are just, nope, peace out. We're not interested in this. And let me tell you what my biggest issue with this is.
Mufasa is freaking them out, by the way. I'll just tell you that. Inside Disney, this one has them actually more worried than just about anything they've seen so far, because it indicates that the dislike of the brand is not isolated to The Little Mermaid. It's not isolated to bad animated movies. Like Lion King is a popular franchise.
Right.
If this is getting ratioed, then they're looking at this and going, 2023 was this exception to the rule. We were fine. We just had some bad movies. The pandemic.
We told them it wasn't.
Right. If this happens to them, then they're having the wake up call.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Because here's the issue I have with this, is apart from this, and I don't even need to play this trailer. Look.
Oh, at this point, you might as well. You just
no,
let it roll, baby. No, I'm kidding. I kid.
Some of the stuff looks kind of cool in it, but here's the thing that jumped out at me. All right, and apart from, okay, I guess I got to do this again. And I want you to notice
that's officially my favorite clip you've ever made. I just want you to know that's my favorite. That will never get old.
Watch the end of that again. Watch the numbers. I want y'all to, everybody out in the audience, watch that last couple of frames where I have, and this is from, I screenshot this maybe around noon today, noon to 1 o'clock today. Check this out. Watch the numbers on the upvotes and downvotes. Because this is right now. I just refreshed this. Watch it again. Okay, 130 to 326. The upvotes now 7 hours later are still at 130. The downvotes have gone up by 8,000. Or 7,000.
And the comments are still off.
Yeah, comments are turned off, apparently.
Yeah, we're done with those. Those aren't important anymore.
Yeah, they're not. But I tell you what, at least earlier, what they had, the comments had not yet been turned off for The Acolyte. So I might go back to these.
How long do we have until they're turned off? You know, this is like the Star Wars hotel trailer.
Tomorrow.
You know, when you have to turn off the comments, you can pretty much know this is going to go the way of the Halcyon. So that's how these two movies are going to go.
Let me show you this. In 1994, The Lion King came out, and Hans Zimmer composed the amazing score for this film. I mean, the huge, and I still have somewhere a copy of a Roland magazine. You know, Roland, like the guys who make the professional digital pianos and instruments and all this kind of stuff. Hans Zimmer had this crazy array of all these Roland digital machines, and Roland magazine did it. This was back in like 1993, 94, right before the movie came out. That soundtrack was amazing. Listen to the soundtrack that they play in the new Lion King trailer. It's all Hans Zimmer's original stuff. They're really baiting the nostalgia for this. But what do they say at the end of the movie? New music by Lin-Manuel Miranda. Is any of Lin-Manuel Miranda's music featured in that trailer? No.
I can't take any more squawk. I can't take any more of that seagull crap. Please. Please let it be the good Lin-Manuel, not the bad Lin-Manuel.
Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely nutty. So look at this. The Lion King. This is the 2019 live action. Written by Jeff Nathanson. Jeff Nathanson is also writing Mufasa. They got the same screenwriter doing this one, the new one that did the one in 2019. Let's talk about the director. One of the reasons that 2019 movie and made him as valuable as he is to the Walt Disney Company was that man right there called Jon Favreau. Jon Favreau is, of course, not involved as the director in the new one. Jeff Nathanson, of course, here we go, screenplay by, okay, right there.
I bet Barry Jenkins has a very impressive IMDb. I bet it's very impressive. How dare you, Valiant?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, we were looking at that earlier.
Is it not impressive?
My first question is, Jon Favreau has taken Disney to the promised land more times in the last 5-6 years than anybody else. Okay, why wasn't he back for this one? Well, maybe he's been so busy with the Lucasfilm jobs that they wanted to hand this to somebody else. Maybe the Grogu and Mando movie and Mando season 3 was far more mission critical for Jon to dedicate his time to than to come back to rehelm the sequel to a movie that did nearly $2 billion 5 years ago. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe they didn't need him anymore.
It took a long time to film Lizzo.
Apparently so.
all the angles are difficult when you're dealing with someone with the kind of gravity of Lizzo.
Yes, tremendous gravity. Barry Jenkins, okay, he's been involved in some Oscar-nominated and winning projects. Small stuff, though. If Beale Street Could Talk, Moonlight. Once again, this is another new Disney director coming in to work on a project that he has never managed something to this scale before. First of all, being a fully computer animated feature, and also a $250 million budget. But that's where we are with this. So, okay, why Barry Jenkins? How do we come up with Barry Jenkins versus why not bring Jon Favreau back? Even in name, why not bring Jon Favreau back? And
if we click on those credits, what are these shows he's been doing? How are they rated? How much are they?
Well, like I said, you look at some of the movies like Beale Street and Moonlight, excuse me. Some of those were Academy Award winning kind of things. He's got chops from that standpoint of being talented and award winning. Not really much in the way of big giant stuff like this. Again, I wonder why, if you're Disney. I get the fact you have the same screenwriter, and that's a plus. But if you're Disney, man, you absolutely need an ace in the hole for this movie. This cannot be another Little Mermaid. And that's what it's driving right towards right now.
Except it's worse because this one's so dependent on China. Because that's where the other one did so well, because China had never seen The Lion King, so this blew their minds.
Right.
China's economy is really not good at the moment. No. So, I think Disney has a very poor hand to be played on this one.
Gross, U.S. and Canada for 2019 Lion King. Jon Favreau and Jeff Nathanson Lion King. 540, almost 550 million in the U.S. Domestic, U.S. and Canada. I don't know if Mufasa will make that much money on the whole planet this time.
I would be shocked.
Yeah. That's what we're looking at, folks. And if you go, like Pro is saying, you look at all the box office data. Let's go here to how much of that 1 billion, whatever it was, international came from China. There we go. I think that's the week. China lifetime gross. There we go. 120 million. So a big chunk of the international, but again, is this new movie going to do another $100 million again in China? Highly doubtful. And maybe Favreau didn't want to work on it. Maybe he thought, no, I don't want to do a sequel. It's going to be too much. I don't want my name on that. I did the one that's going to make money.
Well, it's a prequel sequel, right? This one's a
prequel sequel, yeah.
Yeah, chronologically ahead. You know, if you're going to do a Mufasa movie and you don't have James Earl Jones, maybe it's just better you say, no.
Well, not even that. I'll go one step further. Just like The Little Mermaid, what is the big thing that made The Lion King partially so iconic? It was the music. Which originally, apart from Hans Zimmer doing that gorgeous scoring, you had Elton John and Tim Rice doing a lot of the actual Broadway numbers that were in the show. They're not involved in this new one. We got Lin-Manuel Miranda. And if he brings in kind of that, street rap stuff that he likes to do, because we have no idea what the music in this is going to sound like yet. Apart from Hans Zimmer's score, they're going to reuse Hans Zimmer stuff again. We're talking about the actual singing numbers in this, like the Broadway numbers.
I can't do Scuttlebutt again.
Well, if you look at what Lin-Manuel Miranda just did with The Little Mermaid, what the hell are we looking at with this? Because this is the thing. The 2019 Lion King, it had all the original Elton John and Tim Rice stuff. Well, it's not going to be in this. This is a prequel. They got to write all new stuff. So, I mean, it's like, what are we doing with this? Because as of right now, I don't know. The soundtrack for the original Lion King, and maybe it was on here, maybe it was on IMDb. The soundtrack for the original 1994 Lion King, which was the same music they used in the 2019. It's to this day, I think it's the most popular selling soundtrack, like 7 million copies or something crazy, like physical. It's one of the biggest soundtrack sellers ever. Again, that's the bar you have to meet with this Mufasa movie, or at least get respectably
I'm
close.
sure they'll have another Circle of Life. I'm sure.
Look at the grosses in U.S. and Canada for the 1994 Lion King. Unadjusted. I don't know if this Mufasa movie, 30 years later, will be able to beat that unadjusted figure. That's sad. And the budget for that back then was $45 million. You know this one is at least 5 times that. Good luck, Disney. You're going to have another really overpriced Disney Plus hit on the Nielsen charts for like 3 weeks.
Oh, I forgot about that. It'll make so much money on streaming. They'll be fine.
Yeah, they'll be fine.
I've seen, by the way, in the chat, Emperor's NM wins the day. Recycle of life. That's perfect. Thank you. Recycle of life. Perfect.
Make sure you're subscribed to Valiant Renegade and join us every Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern for the live show.